Held by the Arab Fund for Economic and Social Development in partnership with the World Bank Group. The Water Development Financing Forum for MENA continues for the second day, addressing the urgent water crisis facing the Middle East and North Africa. The high-level forum highlights efforts to increase water availability, foster resilience and growth through innovative water-smart solutions, while exploring ways to enhance water management, unlock financing for essential projects, and discuss relevant policies and regulations. Now, to discuss this further, joining us is our correspondent, Abdulrahman Al-Mhanna, live from the scene. Hello, Abdulrahman. Can you update us on the latest developments and expected outcomes of this forum?
Hello Imran, and good afternoon to the day viewers of KTV2. I'm coming live from the Arab Organization's headquarters in Shuwaikh, where the second day of the Water Development Financing Forum is taking place, where leaders, experts, policymakers and decision makers are taking place here, tackling one of the biggest issues, which is water scarcity. Now let me begin by asking you a question. Have you ever thought how much water we use on a daily basis, whether be it us as people or whether be it governments or private entities? It's a big amount of water, but unfortunately in the Middle East and North Africa, every year the water gets scarcer every year. So on that note, I have two special guests right here with me. We have Dr. Mascaran Brain, who is a World Bank Regional Director for the Planet Department, which includes water in the Middle East and North Africa. Dr. Mascaran, we welcome you right here in KTV2. Can we begin by asking you, and considering your expertise in the World Bank and other places, can you please tell us about the significance for this event for the Middle East exactly, and what are the priorities of the World Bank for the Middle East in terms of water scarcity?
Well, thanks so much. As you know, water is very, very scarce in the Middle East and North Africa. We use about 480 cubic meters per person per year, whereas the global average is 5,500 cubic meters per year. So you can see that the region is water scarce. So this is why the World Bank and the Arab Fund have come together to bring all partners, be it other development finance partners, our ministers from all over the Middle East, to try to find a collective solution, right? So there are two things that we need to do. First is, how do we increase the supply of water? So we're looking at new technologies like desalination or reuse of wastewater. But we also have to make sure that we use the most scarce water resource in a very efficient manner. So if I look at the region overall, we have about 50% of losses in our water systems. So we really have to make sure that the scarce resources that are available are used in the most efficient way, both from a financial perspective, but also from an institutional and infrastructure perspective. So we're working together to find a solution for the region.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Mascaran, for the elaborative answer. Thank you for the insights. Well, dear viewers, as you've heard, Dr. Mascaran was with us, who's a regional director at the World Bank, and have told us about the financing projects that the World Bank is trying to help the Middle East with the issue of water scarcity, and also told us about the solutions, which is one of the things is to actually tackle the supply of water, because we have water scarcity. The water is getting scarcer every year in the Middle East, as we've already mentioned in the beginning of the live. And before we let you go, we have another special guest from Palestine, Minister of Water in Palestine. We should shed light more on the Arabic countries that are suffering from water scarcity as well, and what solutions can we do, and what are the Arab Fund, World Bank and other private entities or governmental entities doing to help those countries in need. We have Dr. Ziad Mimi, Minister of Water in Palestine. Dr. Ziad, thank you so much for being with us. Now, shedding light into Palestine, can you please tell us briefly, generally, what does Palestine need generally? Does Palestine need water generally? Do they have problems with water? And are the Arab Fund, World Bank, other entities doing anything to help Palestine, at least in the coming years?
First of all, I would like to thank the government of Kuwait and the people of Kuwait for their great hospitality for hosting this conference and this international meeting, and thanks also for the Arab Fund and the World Bank for this. Actually, Palestine, the West Bank and Gaza and Jerusalem is suffering from a lot of scarcity of water due to aridity, climate change. But the most important thing is due to the occupation of Israelis on our land. For instance, the attack of Israelis in this war actually destroyed about 80% of the infrastructure, of the water wells, of the sewerage networks, of the networks of the water, of the also pumping stations for sewerage. So we have lost about 80% of this infrastructure for Gaza, and even in the West Bank, due to the general attacks every day in refugee camps, they destroyed a lot of our infrastructure. This meeting will actually will ask for the help of the people here and the international donors to help us in political situation, to help us in political way, and to help us in funding these damages due to the Israeli attacks for the water and infrastructures. As you know, the Gaza people now receiving only 3 liters per day per capita, while the WHO international standards, every person needs at least 15 liters per day for keeping alive. So we are suffering from this, and we are trying to rehabilitate and to give our people an emergency solutions to help them.
Now, especially after the ethnic cleansing that Israeli occupation have been doing in Palestine and the destruction they've caused, do you think that a joint work between government and private entities, especially alongside with the international institutions, is needed? Are there any talks of that? And do you think it's needed, these kind of joint work, to actually help Palestine?
As a Palestinian government, we have prepared a plan for the coming years in order to serve our Palestinians. The first part of the plan will be emergency work, and the international donors and our friends, our brothers Arabs, are willing to help in this, and we are searching for their help. The first 6 months will be a kind of relief and emergency for our people, and then we'll start reconstruction. So we think that it will be helpful to us.
Well, thank you so much for your insight, Dr. Ziad, and we congratulate you on your recent victory. Dear viewers, this was Dr. Ziad Mimi, Minister of Water in Palestine. And now, before we let you go, of course, as you've seen, we've had different views yesterday at the first day of the forum, and second day we've had different experts' opinion, from the World Bank to the Swiss ambassador to Kuwait, Tiziano Belmeli, to other people who work at the Arab Fund, and as well as people from Arabic countries such as the minister in Palestine. And we know that the issue is not only an economic one, it's also a political one. So politically speaking, we have to create politicians have to create fairer policies and have to reach agreement not to intervene in shared water resources. So that's the political side. Economically speaking, we also need to create vast investment opportunities. So politically speaking, we have to actually create rules and cooperation needed, while economically provide the money and tools.
Well, thank you, Abdulrahman, for keeping us informed. Keep up the good work. That was our correspondent, Abdulrahman Al-Mhanna.